What's up, world? It's the Reverend of Reality, and this is the Church of Truth. I appreciate you for joining the congregation today, and hopefully you get something out of this goddamn sermon. Now, with that being said, let's get right to it now, shall we? Because a lot of men are naive and thinking that it's going to be that one good girl out there. And I'm not saying that it's not true, but I'm saying for every 100,000 whores, it might be 2 or 3, maybe even 10 good women that's not whores. Just because you a whore don't mean that you don't have any other good qualities, okay? So all you whores out there, don't get offended and think that I'm saying that you don't have any good qualities, okay? Actually, being a whore is a pretty decent quality anyway, because men need to get their experiences from somewhere, and with the whores out here the way that they are, it makes it a lot easier for men to get laid and get their experiences. Now, whores are just for fun. They're not for serious relationships. You never take a whore seriously, okay? Now, I'm going to give you some signs to identify that she might be a whore. Okay? One of the first signs that's pretty obvious is if she's on social media. Let's say, for example, Facebook or Plenty of Fish or any of that. If she's on one of those sites and her tagline say, she don't have no time for no games, that usually means that she already has played the games and now she's looking for somebody to validate her and make her an honest woman. That's a pretty clear sign of whoredom, whether she's still whoring or whether she's a reformed whore. And at the end of the day, reformed hoes, I don't look down on them because I feel like at least they made the change and they had to look in the mirror and tell themselves, I don't want to be this whore no more. So congratulations for that. But that don't mean that she never was one, okay? That's one of the most clear signs. I don't have time for games. Okay, but you had time for games when Jimmy and his homie was running a train on you in the trap house. Cut the shit. Okay? Another way to identify she's possibly a whore is her attire. How does she dress? If you taking her to a family reunion and this bitch got on a tight ass mini skirt, she's not doing that because she's trying to make you look better. She's doing that because she wants the attention of the males that will be at the reunion. Okay? Another sign is she twerks. You know, when they bend over and clap their ass cheeks. Now, let me give a disclaimer, because I don't have an issue with a woman twerking in the privacy of her own home. But when they on social media, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, they got different kinds of goddamn Snapchat and Instagram Live and all this other shit. Connect Pal. They on there twerking, clapping them ass cheeks, and the majority of the time that a woman is about to twerk, she got on some seductive shit. She got on them little goddamn booty shorts with half her ass cheeks hanging out, and you can see her pussy print. That's a pretty clear-cut sign that she's a whore, because the average woman that's gonna be a wholesome, good, quality woman, she's not gonna be putting her most valuable, intimate areas on goddamn display for everybody to see them. Regardless what a funky ass bitch think, that's how men think, bitch. Masculine, strong men. Nobody give a fuck about you being offended, okay? She also gets offended by certain key words. Let's say, for example, if you arguing with a porn star and you tell the porn star, you shut up, you filthy slut, she would easily be offended because regardless whether you realize it or not, she's in a gang. Just like the Bloods, the Crips, the GDs, she is in a gang. It's called the Whores. Okay, so she gonna defend her gang member. Okay, if you just say, you see a girl on TV, let's say for example, you see one of the Kardashians or something, and you say, I don't like that fucking tramp. well, you're disrespecting women. No, they disrespecting themselves, but she doesn't see it that way because she is already decided in her mind that she don't feel like whoredom should be judged because 9 times out of 10 she is one. So if you calling females whores, sluts, tramps, tricks, hoes, funky bitches, and she's getting offended by it, 9 times out of 10 it's because you hitting a nerve and you actually are subconsciously calling her out as well, okay? Another sign is she has a lot of guy friends. Now, I know it's going to be some females that say, well, I just like hanging out with guys because girls are catty and all that. I understand that. But the fact of the matter is this. In the majority of regular male and female friendships, one or the other will fall for each other. Okay? And a lot of times, drunk nights and loneliness and things of that nature can lead to the bedroom. Okay? Just being a grown-ass man, I know that the majority of men that are friends with females would have sex with them if they were given the opportunity. Some dudes are a little bit more soft-spoken, so they won't speak out and they won't push their boundaries and try it, but they still waiting in the wings hoping that one day they catch you while you vulnerable or while you've been drinking too much or you just horny and lonely. They will capitalize on that situation. For every 1,000 men, 982 of them will fuck you if they was given the opportunity. I mean, even if you think about it, it's dudes out here who are superstars and they will fuck the ugliest fat hood rat bitch in the neighborhood if she just threw the pussy at him. Okay? So just because this female might not be the baddest in the world don't mean she can't get a dude that females might consider very attractive. Also, just because she's not sleeping with this guy friend don't mean that she hasn't slept with any of their friends. Or don't mean that she hasn't slept with his brother or his cousin or somebody in their inner circle. Okay? So if she got a lot of guy friends, that's another pretty obvious sign. Another sign is she's constantly going out to the nightclubs. And I'm not talking about a nightclub where it's tables set out and everybody just sitting there and the music is very relaxed, like maybe some jazz type of music, and you enjoy some wine and conversation, things like that. I'm talking about the club where all the girls is dressed slutty and they up in there grinding on dudes and shit. If she hang out at these type of nightclubs, it's pretty obvious why she's hanging out at these types of nightclubs. So don't fool yourself into thinking, well, she just need my love and my tender care and no. You can't save a whore until she's ready to change her own life. And even when she change her own life, that pussy mileage is still going to be there. You just a simp that's stepping in thinking that cape is actually going to be valuable. Not in these situations. Most time, a whore is a whore for life. Okay? Another sign. She got different kids by different men. Now, I know it's going to be some women out there. I got married. Both my kids, I got married 2 different times. And okay, I understand. Like I say about every single thing that I say. Just because you are the exception to the rule does not mean that it's not the rule anymore. Okay? Because the majority of females that have multiple kids by multiple men, they have those kids out of wedlock. A lot of times, they don't even know who the father is. They just saying, he look like you, he got your eyes. Okay, he might have my eyes, but he got Johnny's lips. How come this motherfucking baby is already looking like he gonna be 6'9" like LeBron James? Bitch, don't play with me. You think I'm a fool. And she also thinks that you are inexperienced and a fool. Because she wants you to come in and take care of somebody else's shit. That's like a dude having a goddamn sandwich, eating half of it and leaving it on the plate and telling you go ahead. I don't want to eat behind you, motherfucker. I'm a self-respecting masculine man. I'm not going behind you. And that's what men need to do. Take a look at this shit. 9 times out of 10, she got them multiple kids by them multiple dudes, and them ain't the only dudes that she was fucking at that time frame. So take a look at these things and take a clear-cut look. Stop being so goddamn blinded by love and lust that you refuse to look at the obvious signs, okay? Another sign is she's still in contact with her exes. Whether it's the children's father or whether it's just a relationship that didn't work out and now they friends. These females is usually in contact with more than one dude that they was sleeping with at one time or another. Which lets you know, if a dude get in between that lady's legs, 9 times out of 10, he's always going to have a place in her mind and in her heart. They are spiritually bonded and nothing you can do can take that away. It happened, okay? So if she's still in contact with these dudes, 9 times out of 10, at least 1 or 2 of them is on the reserve. So when you fuck up, she can go over there and fuck them and tell them it's your fault. You should have been stepping up to the plate. You should have been spending more time with me. You should have been helping me with the kids more. Whatever excuse sounds best is the one she's going to use. But the excuse sounds best to the person that's making it up. Because excuses are bullshit ass reasons why you did some fucked up ass shit. Okay? I'm not about to sit around and let you have all these goddamn rebound guys just sitting around smiling in your motherfucking face and smiling in my face too, knowing in the back of their goddamn mind, as soon as I fuck up, they can't wait to fuck the shit out you and be smiling in my face like it never happened. So if she's in contact with her exes and she got all these guy friends, these are clear signs. If she thinks that sleeping around is empowering and she believes in things like the Amber Rose slut walks and stuff, that's a pretty clear-cut sign that she's one of them. It's like I said earlier, whores are a gang, just like the Bloods and the Crips. They defend one another. That's why they made slut-shaming up, because they want to do what they want to do and they don't want to feel guilty about it. They are turning today's society into nothing but sensitive, soft individuals. They want the men to act like the women and the women to go out and fuck on us and come back and we done cleaned the house up and cleaned the dishes up and we in there with the kids that ain't even ours crying, talking about, where have you been, baby? I called you 8 times. They want that. So if she's one of them feminist type thinking females, that lets you know right there. Cut your losses and get the fuck away from her. If she think that shit empowers her, that lets you know she's a sport fucker. And that's cool for fun only, not for serious relationships. You don't even take a bitch like that out in public. Another clear-cut sign is her friends are whores. Because just like anything else, let's say for example, if I liked it to gangbang, I would hang out with a bunch of gangbangers. If I was into hustling and grinding in the streets, I would hang out with a bunch of dope boys. If I wanted to be a hitman for hire, I would hang out with like-minded people. If you want to be a whore, who would you hang out with? That's right, other whores. Because they know where the goddamn activity is. Whores, a lot of time, are just fucking for fun. Sometimes they fuck for money. Sometimes they go over to Dubai and they suck camel dick for money. Insta thoughts. It's all different kinds of whores, and they usually congregate with other whores. Because that's where their social circle is. They sell pussy. They sport fuck. Like I said, it's your pussy. But this is my observation. You don't have to like the way that I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with me, but that still don't mean that I'm not telling truth. Okay? Another clear-cut sign is that they like these supposedly street dudes. These supposedly real dudes. But if you actually really think about it, they like these guys because these guys are very woman-like a lot of the times. The majority of guys who call themselves street niggas and I'm a real nigga and all that. Most of those dudes are raised in a single parent home by a woman. So they a parrot. And they'll say dumbass shit like, you hate your mama. The black queen, you can never talk down on the black queen. Even when she a whore and she's proven herself to be a no good bitch that keeps drama going, they still defend her. That's why they like these dudes, because these dudes are more like them than any other kind of man. Because these dudes are illogical and they don't want to hear no medicine. They want to stay who they are and they want validation. They don't want no criticism. All they want is compliments. If you explain to a street dude why he's bad for the community, he'll tell you, you just a pussy ass nigga. But at the same time, most of these dudes are pussies themselves. They use weapons every time they get into an altercation, just like a woman. Another reason they love these street dudes like this is because these guys are very expendable. If you say something to offend her, she can just go tell this stupid ass street dude and he'll come and try to jump on you or stab you or shoot you or do some pussy ass shit like shoot up a house that you might be in and end up hitting innocent bystanders because he's a fucking pussy hungry punk. That's why they love him. They also love these dumbass dudes because these dudes won't last on the streets very long, which means for some reason or another, he's going to find himself behind bars again. Which means that now, even if she comes and visits him and puts some money on his books and accept his calls from time to time, that doesn't mean she has to fuck him anymore. Now she can do what she wants to do, which is move on to the next dumbass. Okay? And that's the reason why they like these dudes. Because these dudes are basically a male version of them. Now that we got to that, let's get to this last point I want to make real fast, okay? Because a good sign that she is a whore is that no matter what, if you know for a fact that she done been in 35 relationships, every relationship that she speaks about, she will always talk about what somebody did to her. She will never say anything that she did fucked up. She will never talk about how she fucked his brother. She had never talked about in the last relationship she was with. She was messing with his cousin. She had never talked about how she stepped out on her marriage and was just fucking with some dude just because he was giving her compliments and got to her. She'll never talk about that stuff, which means that she lacks accountability. She blames everybody for her mistakes. Just like a female that says, I was raped when I was a child. Okay, if you was raped, that would mean that you should actually be more guarded with yourself and you shouldn't trust people the way that you do in order to just be giving yourself away. Okay? You will make somebody earn your respect, your trust, your body, your mind, your soul. You wouldn't just be sport fucking. That's a shitty ass excuse, and that's exactly the opposite of what somebody who usually is sexually abused would do. Okay? So these are just some of the signs that she's probably a whore. Now, let me do my disclaimer. Just because one or two of these things may be her situation, don't mean that it's absolutely the case. But I would urge you to do a little bit extra investigation to figure out what's really going on. Get in the comment section, and if you actually want me to speak on a certain situation or something that I may have left out, I don't have no problem addressing that as well. Like I said all the time, these bitches wonder why they don't get no rings when I'm trying to explain to them, I'm Phil Jackson, you stupid whore. Set the screen when I say set the screen, you funk ass bitch. I rebuke you funky bitches. The doors of the church are open. Can I get an amen in this motherfucker? Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. If you can't take this criticism, you don't deserve no motherfucking compliments. God damn it. I'm Dr. Fix-A-Bitch, and I just gave you dumbass hoes the antidote. So God damn it, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. New channels in the description. You can't stop this goddamn powerful sermons from living, bitch. This is God's work, you funky bitches. I appreciate you for joining the goddamn congregation. Have a great day and be blessed.